Oh, there we are. Well, good evening, everybody.
I'm trying to do this smoothly and make it look, almost. This is where it's going to get bad.
I know. No, it's good. Folks, believe it or not, that was Chris's own arm, not a Steadicam. We have not yet invested in our Steadicam, but that's coming. Anyway, it's so good to see you all after a little week hiatus. I hope you didn't miss singing too bad, or you're saying something else. But this is, of course, Thursday night hymn sing here at Bethesda United Methodist Church. My name is Max Nolan. I'm the choir director here, and Chris Warrington, our music director and organist, above next to me. I never quite know. It's so great to have you here. You know, Chris and I, we think about these things during. There's so much that goes in. I think there's more that goes into an online worship service in many ways than goes into your live ones. You know, Chris and I have done a lot of church work in our lives. And in the summer is usually a time where you just show up to the church. This is a secret, everyone. No one spread this. But you show up to the church.
How many people are watching?
We're almost at 20. I think we're good for a second.
Okay, you're good. Yeah, go ahead.
But you play your hymns, you get out there and you seize the day. But this summer, of course, like no other summers, we're still making our online worship services. So these weeks are busy, but Chris reached out. And so we had a broad theme tonight, which we will do our best to cover, which is hymns that kind of felt like nature or summer or something of that. And I actually think we've done a pretty good job tonight of trying to pull that off. But you'll let us know. Anyway, everybody, we're going to kick off with one of my favorite tunes. This is Morning is Broken. Morning is Broken. I really sort of fell in love with it. My parents growing up had a Cat Stevens Greatest Hits CD. And on that Greatest Hits CD was all those great Cat Stevens songs. But this one always struck me because I was like, wait, that doesn't sound at all like we sing it in church. And so this is Morning is Broken. It should be Evening has Broken, but either way, here we go, y'all. I got to figure out where my intro is. It's been such a long day. All right, here we go. Morning has broken like the first morning, blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where his feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. One of my favorites of all time. I love it.
I'm disappointed you didn't do the 17 key changes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I didn't have the time. Today. Anyway, or I would have done your key changes. Anyway, Chris, my hymns are so out of order. Can you tell us what's next?
I'm up with all things bright and beautiful. So this is a hymn that I've done a 180 on over the years. My first exposure to this, I think I was probably 10 years old, no more than that. And for some reason, my home church decided that this was going to be the hymn of the month in the middle of February. And it was just, we sang this hymn every Sunday for a month. And I was like, Why? And I wound up really just despising this hymn after that. But then as I got older, we came back to it. It was one of these things, this isn't too bad. And I think part of what turned me on, I see that Riley is watching. Riley and Gail gifted me this fun little thing a couple of years ago. Is it showing up right on the screen or is it backwards? Okay. This is a Monty Python songbook, and there's a really nice, doxology and song about creation. It's about the snakes that poison and the wasps that sting. So, we'll do this version on 147 tonight. Here we go, chorus. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Each little flower that opens, each little bird that sings, God made their glowing colors and made their tiny wings. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Second verse. The purple-headed mountain, the river running by, the sunset and the morning that brightens up the sky. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. The cold wind in the winter, the pleasant summer sun, the ripe fruits in the garden, God made them every one. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Last verse. God gave us eyes to see them and lips that we might tell how great is God Almighty, who has made all things well. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all.
I love it. I agree with you. That's a hymn that's grown on me throughout the years as well. That at first it felt super sweet, but there's something really magical about it. We've stumbled on a side theme here, which I think is fantastic. This first half is all women hymn writers for all the texts that we're singing. Because Morning is Broken by Eleanor Farillon, which is super famous. And then Cecil Francis Alexander, crazy famous as well, wrote this actually for children. And I as someone who works with kids, I love how advanced this language is. She knew that kids could handle this incredibly beautiful and powerful poetry. And that sort of segues us to our next song, next hymn, which is one of my favorites of all time. This is I Want to Walk as a Child of the Light. Darn it. Muted myself. This is Kathleen Thomerson's I Want to Walk as a Child of the Light. The tune name for this is Houston because she wrote it for a big conference in Houston and it caught on like wildfire. This is a tune we usually do sort of around Advent-ish time, but I think it works well any time of year. And I'm sort of taken aback, growing up, I was a very cool kid, and my family and I played in a recorder quartet. And we would arrange, yeah, it was very cool. Everyone in the town feared us. And
What you did on Sunday was pretty cool.
yeah. The recorders, I'm a big advocate for the recorder, as most will know. But this hymn, we used to play this, and we had this gig. Now, this sounds really weird, but every time I play this, I think about it, and it's a quite wonderful memory. We had this gig where we would play at this nature preserve in the middle of nowhere, Ohio. And our place we would play, there were other musicians in this nature preserve. We were out on this dock in the middle of a lake. And so we would play this, and this was always one of the last one we played. And it works beautifully for a recorder quartet. And it's just a beautiful tune, but there's something about this sort of refrain, that in him there is no darkness at all. The night and the day are both alike. The Lamb is the light of the city of God. Shine in my heart, Lord Jesus. It is super beautiful hymn writing, true inspiration. So this is I Want to Walk as a Child of the Light. I want to walk as a child of the light. I want to follow Jesus. God sent the stars to give light to the world. The star of my life is Jesus. In him there is no darkness at all. The night and the day are both alike. The Lamb is the light of the city of God. Shine in my heart, Lord Jesus. I want to see the brightness of God. I want to look at Jesus. Clear sun of righteousness, shine on my path and show me the way, the Father. In him there is no darkness at all. The night and the day are both alike. The Lamb is the light of the city of God. Shine in my heart, Lord Jesus. I'm looking for the coming of Christ. I want to be with Jesus. When we have run with patience the race, we shall know the joy of Jesus. In him there is no darkness at all. The night and the day are both alike. The Lamb is the light of the city of God. Shine in my heart, Lord Jesus. I love it, love it, love it. All right, everybody. We are now at the request portion of our evening. So it's time to get those requests in. I don't know if we have any sort of hangover requests from last time. Can you think of any, Chris? We have
My turn.
Take 1 week off. Look what happens to us.
See? No, and I honestly forgot to look at the comments from 2 weeks ago. So, you know what? You want to just do a lucky dip to start and give people time to get it in?
Well, yeah. Well, let's do. Yeah, Chris, you do a lucky dip. Pull through.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
Let's see what we got. Oh, nah, I can't do that. I played that one to start.
What do we got?
Let's see. Oh, you know what? We're going to do this one, 559. First verse of Christ Has Made the Sure Foundation. This was in the running to be an opening hymn a couple of weeks ago. Actually, we recorded this one, so it might be an opening hymn in a couple of weeks, at which point we'll get to do all the verses. So we'll just do the first verse tonight.
First verse. 559.
Christ is made the sure foundation, Christ the head and cornerstone, chosen of the Lord and precious, binding all the church in one. Holy Zion, help forever, and her confidence alone.
That's one of my favorites. I didn't know that before I came to this church.
Really? That's a great tune. I heard it on a TV show the other day. I can't remember which one. Jody has requested, I'll play this one. This is hymn 123, 123.
El Shaddai.
El Shaddai. I love this one. It's got chord symbols. I could play this easy. All right. Here I go. El Shaddai. Here's a little intro. El Shaddai, El Shaddai, Elyon Adonai. Age to age, you're still the same by the power of the name. El Shaddai, El Shaddai, Ekam Kana Adonai. We will praise and lift you high, El Shaddai. I will say I do love sight reading in other languages. That's one of my favorite things to do. Great requests. Chris, I actually really do. Chris, Sarah makes a great suggestion. I don't think we can do it too much. Can we do the first verse of Lift Every Voice and Sing?
Yeah.
Let's do it. I sang it last time, but it's your turn now.
That's
It's
fine.
great. I love singing it, but it is a singer's song.
It's a killer. It's absolutely it's two hymns in one, because it's twice as long as the average hymn, and then there's. All right, I'm trying to make small talk and find the there it is, 519. I knew it was in the 500s, but
all right. This is Lift Every Voice and Sing. What number again, Chris?
519.
519,
Those that have
everybody.
hymnals.
519.
All righty.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, let us march on till victory is won.
Great A singing there.
Those nights
I
when
love
you
it.
can have text or the right chords. You can't have both.
I know. It's like my second verse of I Want to Walk as a Child of the Light. That's where we're at. We all got our moment. All right. Judy, I believe. Well, Gary's
Judy
coming.
or Gary, I see it. 189.
189. Do you want to do this one, Chris?
Yeah, I can do this one
Oh, you
because
can.
my contributions in the second half are short, so I'll do the lion's share of the.
All right. And still, folks, you can send in those requests. Maybe we could do one or more. We got the tight end of this tonight. So
189, Ferris Lord Jesus.
189, beautiful tune.
Fairest Lord Jesus, ruler of the nature, O thou of God and man the Son, thee will I cherish, thee will I honor, thou my soul's glory, joy, and crown.
Sorry, Judy.
That was great. I still love it. Now-
They changed the words on this one. I had the ones from, while you're doing something, I'm going to check it in the old hymnal because I had that old text in my mind.
Some of these hymns are real, real 50-cent words, and it's tough. All right, there's one that actually got requested quite a bit this week when I mentioned that this was going to be summer or spring themed, and I just feel like we got to do it. There's a certain individual who will not enjoy this next.
I think I know what's
next
coming.
50 seconds, but let's do just first verse of 707, the Hymn of Promise. I'll play this one. This is
All right.
Hymn of Promise, 707. Here we go.
I think we just lost a viewer.
No. He can cut it through. I think he'll be fine. That's what the mute button's for. In the bulb there is a flower, in the seed an apple tree, in cocoons a hidden promise, butterflies will soon be free. In the cold and snow of winter, there's a spring that waits to be unrevealed until its season, something God alone can see. And there it is. It's grown on me. When I came to this church, I came from a job where the pastor there wanted that hymn sung, I kid you not, at every worship service. So when I came here and I realized it was not as widely done, I was a little relieved. But I think it's got that unrevealed until it's seasoned, something God alone can see is a great little turn of phrase. So Natalie Slade, thank you for giving us that. All
I
right.
grew up singing a lot of Natalie Sleeth anthems in kids choirs, so I don't mind the text as well. It works very well at funerals. The in our end is our beginning hit me during, I can't even remember whose funeral it was, but that ever since then, I mean, I tend to open up the organ registration on that on that last verse. So,
well, our next,
just like anything, shouldn't overdo it.
everything in moderation. Our next one is still from the Worship and Song, 3134 if you have yours, but it's the next song that's in your packet. Take it away, Chris.
So the underlying theme for this second half seems to be syncopation, at least for the ones I picked. So you'll have to figure out a way to syncopate in the garden. So 2 verses of Still. This is typically when we run into a syncopated rhythm in hymns, we tend not to like it. And I'll admit it's not very hymn-like, but I think it's still very singable because it's predictable and the rhythm just kind of goes along at a constant disruption, if you will. I'll play it through once and then we'll sing both verses. Verse 1.
I Hide me now under your wings. Cover me within your mighty hand. When the oceans rise and thunders roar, I will soar with you above the storm. Father, you are king over the flood. I will be still and know you are God. Find rest, my soul, in Christ alone. Know his blood in quietness and trust. When the oceans rise and thunders roar, I will soar with you above the storm. Father, you are king over the flood. I will be still and know you are
That's a great tune. I love that one. That's fantastic. Not too, syncopation. I had another cool thing about me, since it's a cool thing. In college, our freshman year of music school, we had to take this class called Eurythmics, which was basically I loved it. It was the best thing I ever did, but it's so weird. You ran around the stage and clapped out different rhythms, and you really, started to sort of figure out how rhythm felt, and ever since that class, I embrace syncopation. I love it. It brings me joy. And there's another aspect of syncopation that's funny is, written notation can only get us so far, right? And so often the way things are written is just a guide. When a musician writes a tune or a hymn, what happens to it after that moment when it's off the paper is completely up to us, right? That's the magic. And I actually think In the Garden, which again is part of our nature theme as well, our summer theme suggested by many, and one of my favorite tunes, so I'll sing it anytime, is in that category where there's a lot of starting and stopping. And the syncopation in this is less about being exact and more about having a lot of guts. So this is In the Garden. Enjoy. Sing along. I'm going to take these fermatas very seriously, people. Very serious fermatas. Here we go. I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses. And he walks with me and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks and the sound of his voice is so sweet, the birds hush their singing, and the melody that he gave to me within my heart is ringing. And he walks with me and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. I'd stay in the garden with him, though the night around me be falling, but he bids me go to the voice of woe. His voice to me is calling, and he walks with me and he talks with me, and he tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. There you go.
Felt like I was back in the tabernacle with
There
those
you go. Yeah, well,
fathers
you
just
know.
hanging on and ringing through the rafters, you know?
Well, it's funny. It's, you know, and I think you got to add an extra fermata in there, you know. And I don't think that's right. Yeah, you got to really go in. Anyway, I thought Chris's final selection tonight was such a great, almost like benediction to our evening, that I thought I would do sort of our goodbye announcements up front. So Chris can end us with this really beautiful sort of song. So thank you again for joining us. Again, we're on this every other week schedule throughout the summer. We'll have Evensong next week. We had a great Evensong last week, and so we hope you join us for that. Same 7 o'clock on Thursday. Of course, worship on Sunday at 10 a.m. online. One thing you're going to see coming out, and I'll sort of introduce it, but Chris can sort of add to it, is we throughout this summer, you know, we're working through plans as a church to figure out, you know, how we go back to some form of worship at some point. But we are online through the summer, and we really, Folk Fest was such an amazing moment to see what talent is in this congregation. So if you want to participate in any way in worship musically, and I know we have so many great musicians, if it's you playing a piano piece, you playing an instrument that you know, or something you've learned, or singing, or if you have an idea for something and you want to see if we can make that happen given sort of the restrictions in place, let us know. We really want your music making in worship. So it's not just us all the time.
Right. We're happy to do it. We're here to do it. But it's also, I agree with you. It's been really great seeing other people get involved and be involved in worship like that. And, you know, the sad thing is, I mean, there's nobody that wants to get back to, quote, normal, whatever that is, more than me. But when we do that, people's time is really going to be precious again. And we might not. So this is an opportunity that you may not have time for in the future to participate in the worship service musically. So please let us know. You know, we're happy to help it out. Or if you know someone who you think might be interested in doing it and didn't hear this, or they might need a little nudge, you know, give them a call and put them in touch with Max and me, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah, what's great about BUMC's music program is we're volunteer based. You know, the only pros, and I guess we are pros. I shouldn't put air quotes around that. We're okay at what we do. You know, but the only real pros, you know, on staff, we have Gail Williams who does our bells, and me and Chris. We don't have our singers, our musicians are all volunteers, and so that's what makes us amazing. And so we want to try to keep carrying that into our online world. Anyway, thank you again for being so much with thank you so much for being with us tonight. Long day. Chris, introduce this last hymn and just take us away. It's such a great finisher to our night.
This is Out of the Faith We Sing. That's called May You Run and Not Be Weary. And I learned this several years ago, about 10, 15 years ago, probably at one of the national camp and retreat events that I went to. And we used it as a benediction. And it kind of fit with the one that we did earlier. Still, you know, if you do get weary when you run, you can be still, you know, as we say. But even that second verse of still was, you know, well, go back and take a look at it. I'll just stop talking and sing this one and get us out of here tonight. So it was great to see everybody. Tell your friends Thursday nights, Evensong and hymn sing. We'd love to see you back here. We're going to continue this for the foreseeable future.
May you run and not be weary. May your heart be filled with song. And may the love of God continue to give you hope and keep you strong. And may you run and not be weary. May your life be filled with joy. And may the road you travel always lead you home.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Max, thank you. for all that you're doing behind the scenes.